Hello everybody, welcome into the live stream. We're doing some more anatomy and physiology today. How's everyone doing? Welcome in. Hello, hello. I'll wait for some of you to get in here, but hello, hello. Welcome in everybody. Welcome back to another anatomy and physiology live stream. Today we're going to go through all of anatomy and physiology. This is going to be great for your summer session. This will be great if you're taking the HESI and TEAS soon. We're going to cover the anatomy topics from the introduction, some chemistry stuff, some cell bio, some of the tissues, some of the integumentary system, skeletal, joints, muscular, nervous, cardiovascular, respiratory, lymphatic, digestive, urinary, and reproductive. I think I listed them all out. Hopefully I did. We'll get started here in just a second, but again, welcome in. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology. I also take other topics that you guys request as well. Like I said, I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for about 5 years now. And then we'll get started here in just a second once a little more people join. But welcome in. If you're having trouble with any anatomy and physiology topics that we go over today, you can reach out to me via that orange button and ask a question. I have tutoring available. I can get you to some resources. Hi, Ollie. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Again, my anatomy and physiology notes are linked in my TikTok bio. The replay of this live stream are also linked in my TikTok bio. But if you have trouble finding them or just need the link directly, you can reach out to me via the orange button down here. I also have an ebook releasing soon for the HESI and TEAS for the anatomy and physiology portion. I am giving out a $20 coupon for that is only available if you reach out to me with the word ebook via that orange button. We'll go ahead and get started now, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to get this all set up. If you are new here, my name is Ollie, and I go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics. We're going to get started now, everybody, so I just got to flip the camera around. One sec. Alrighty. Can everyone see the screen? Can everyone see the screen? Just want to make sure we can see the screen before we get going. Can everyone see? Awesome, awesome. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Can everyone see my screen all right? If you can see the screen, give the video a like. If it's your first time being here, welcome. Give the video a like. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I got an A in anatomy. I got 100% on my final exam. And I also go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics. We'll go ahead and get started here with number 1. Which directional term means toward the midline of the body? Everyone can see my screen. Perfect, thanks. Thanks for liking the live, everybody. Welcome in if you're just joining us. Again, my name is Ollie. I go live every day covering anatomy and physiology for your anatomy and physiology course or for the HESI and TEAS. We're on number 1 now, which asks which directional term means toward the midline of the body. What do you guys think? I'm seeing a lot of C's. A lot of C's. Perfect. The answer is C. It is medial. So it is medial. Medial means closer towards the midline of the body. If you think about it, M is mid. And then when you also have lateral means away from the midline. Distal means farther from the point of attachment. Proximal would be closer to. And posterior is going to be toward the back. Which of the following is a function of proteins in the body? Which of the following is a function of proteins in the body? We're going to move on to number 2. And if you're having any trouble or you're kind of confused on anything, definitely reach out to me via that orange button. I do have some tutoring available, or I can just answer a quick question. But let me see. What do you guys think number 2 is? Previous printouts. My Instagram. Also, if you want my Instagram, reach out to me. My Instagram is medzeg.ollie. My Instagram is medzeg.ollie. And then number 2, which of the following is a function of proteins in the body? The answer is C. That is the catalysis of chemical reactions. Proteins function as enzymes. Write that a little better. Proteins function as enzymes. Catalyzing means to speed up chemical reactions. The primary energy source, that is not true. The primary energy source is carbohydrates. Genetic information storage, that is going to be nucleic acids. Hormone storage is not a major protein function. All right. But again, my Instagram is medzeg.ollie. We're going to move on to number 3 now. What is the function of the centrosome in a cell? And if you miss anything or you're just joining and you join a little late, I do post the replays to YouTube afterwards as well. The link that is in my bio. Yes, not all proteins though, but proteins are enzymes and they speed up reactions. That is a function of proteins in the body. Number 3, what is the function of the centrosome in a cell? What do you guys think it is? I'm seeing some C's. Thank you guys for liking and sharing the live. I appreciate it. The more that you guys do like and share the live, the more that we can get it out to people. Help as many people on their upcoming anatomy and physiology exams. But number 3, what is the function of the centrosome in a cell? The answer is C. It is the organization of microtubules. So the centrosome organizes microtubules, and microtubules are extremely important during cell division. Energy production would be the mitochondria, protein synthesis would be the ribosomes, and lipid metabolism, this would be the smooth ER. Alrighty. Number 4, which organelle is primarily responsible for detoxifying drugs and alcohol? Which organelle is primarily responsible for detoxifying drugs and alcohol? What do you guys think it is? And thank you guys for all the follows. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for 5 years now. And I've been helping numerous students pass their HESI and TEAS examination on the anatomy and physiology portion. And we're on number 4. Which organelle detoxifies drugs and alcohol? The answer is B. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The smooth ER detoxifies harmful substances in the liver cells. The Golgi apparatus, that is for modifying and sorting proteins. The lysosome is for digestion of waste. And the nucleus, that is going to be for making ribosomes. All right. Number 5, a solution with a pH of 5 is what? A solution with a pH of 5 is what? What do you guys think it is? I don't know anything but answering to the best of my ability. No, that's all you got to do. Just answer to the best of your availability. I appreciate you trying. What was the question? Sorry, one sec. Let me pull it back. Could you explain why the storage of genetic information is a function of proteins? So proteins are not responsible for storing genetic information. Proteins are more functional molecules. DNA is going to store genetic code, and RNA is going to help carry out those instructions. So DNA is the blueprint for building proteins. But proteins do the work, but they don't store the instructions, if that makes sense. All right, number 5. A solution with a pH of 5 is B. It is weakly acidic. Remember, our pH scale goes from 0 to 14. We're closer to 0, acidic, closer to 14. That is basic. So the pH is 5, so it is below 7. So it would be acidic, but it's not strongly acidic. A and D, those are strongly basic. Which means the pH would be above 9, and then C neutral is 7. All right, let's move on to number 6. What macromolecule is the primary source of long-term energy storage? And if you're just joining us and you had any trouble with the questions that we just went over, I have that orange button in the bottom left corner. Hit that button. You can send me a direct message during the live at any point, and right after the live, I go through and I answer all the questions. That's so you don't have to leave the live or miss anything. You can just, if you think of a question, you can hit it, send it to me. Think of another question a little bit later on, hit it, send it to me. And then also, I have notes for anatomy and physiology, and I have the replay to the live streams as well. Those are linked in my TikTok bio, but if you have trouble, definitely reach out there as well. But we're going to move on to number 6. What macromolecule is the primary source of long-term energy storage? Again, the key word here is going to be our long-term energy storage. Long-term energy storage. That's going to be C. So lipids are for long-term because they have a high calorie density. And then our short term would be our carbohydrates. So these are short term. Proteins are not usually for energy. They are mostly energy in like survival type situations. Nucleic acids are storing genetic information. But proteins, if people are like, oh, like protein gives you energy, not really. So that's really only in the terms of survival. But mainly it's carbohydrates followed by lipids long term, carbohydrates short term. Moving on to number 7. During which stage of mitosis do sister chromatids separate? Fantastic, fantastic. And if you have any questions and I miss it, feel free to repeat your question. Sometimes I read on my screen and I just miss it, but I try. I saw there was a question on any tips on identifying the difference between hyaline and elastic connective tissue. Yeah, so hyaline cartilage is very like smooth and glassy. And then the like elastic cartilage, they have like a lot of fibers in their thing. I can see if I can find a picture, but they have chondrocytes, and then elastic they still have chondrocytes, but there's a background of fibers. The practice test will be available upon request. Is the lab lagging? Okay, are we all good now? Number 7, during which stage of mitosis do sister chromatids separate? The answer is C, it is anaphase. During which stage of mitosis do sister chromatids separate? The answer is anaphase. So during anaphase, they are pulled apart. During prophase, this is where they condense. During metaphase is where the chromosomes align. Telophase is where the cell actually begins and starts to divide. All right. Moving on to number 8. Which tissue type forms the outer layer of the skin? And if I miss any questions, feel free to repeat them. Sometimes I just miss. But the practice test, I have practice tests available on my website. This one in particular, hit the orange button, reach out to me. I'll send you a link. And then if you miss any questions or anything, or you guys need a little extra help in anything, hit that orange button, send me the question. I'll try to answer it. Thanks for 2,000 likes on the live, guys. I really appreciate it. We're on number 8 now. Which tissue type forms the outer layer of the skin? What do we think it is? The answer is B. It is epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue. So the epidermis is made of epithelial tissue. So we have the epidermis. We have the dermis and the hypodermis, or the subcutaneous layer. Epi means above, so this would be above the dermis, so this would be the outer layer. Hypo means lower or below, so this would be below the dermis. Connective tissue is more for supporting or protecting muscle for movement, and then nervous for signaling. Number 9, which type of connective tissue stores energy and insulates the body? This is AMP2. This is a mix of AMP1 and AMP2 for the HESI and TEAS. Thank you guys for the gifts. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the follows as well. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology and some other topics that get requested as well, like pharmacology. I actually have some pharmacology questions at the end of this live stream as a little bonus for sticking around. If I have any questions and I don't really get to them, I do mainly anatomy and physiology tests, but I do some chemistry here and there. But if I missed your question or we don't really get to it today, or there's anything that you need, definitely hit the orange button, send me a message. Let's figure something out for you. But number 9, what type of connective tissue stores energy and insulates the body? The answer is C, it is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is fat tissue. One of the main functions of adipose tissue and fat in general is energy storage and insulation. These are fat cells. Areolar tissue, this is more for like loose support. Loose support. Cartilage, again, is going to be like our support. A little bit of cushioning. And then dense connective tissue. These are more so like our tendons and our ligaments. All right. Number 10, what type of gland secretes pheromones in areas like the axilla? And bonus if you can tell us what the axilla is. Lauren said, recently finished Anatomy in Physiology 2 with an A, and then got 100% on a HESI anatomy section. Love your videos. Awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. If we could get a congratulations in chat for Lauren, that would be awesome. Congrats. You definitely worked hard. I'm glad that you love my videos. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to your live study for my class. Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to you being here. I love doing these live streams. They're so much fun to do. I appreciate you guys liking and following. Yep, the axilla is the armpits. Yep, that's incredible, guys. Awesome. Being that, if we think about the armpits, they can get a little stinky, you know? I'm one of those. When I work out and I sweat my armpits, you don't want to be around me. That's all I gotta say. But number 10, the answer is our apicrine. So in our armpits, they secrete sweat, and those can include pheromones. Sebaceous are going to be for like our sebum and our oil. Our eccrine are for sweat as well, but not. Give me one sec. Why did I get logged out here? Cermus, that's for like our earwax and whatnot. Alrighty, let's move on to number 11. I'll leave this answer up here for just a moment. Number 11, which layer of the skin contains blood vessels and nerve endings? So think about the function of each layer of the skin and think about what that might be. And just as we conclude this page, if there was any material that we went over that you are still having some questions on or still struggling with, and I perhaps didn't get to one of your questions, feel free to use that orange button to send me a direct message during the live so you don't have to leave. I'll be replying to all those afterwards. I also have my notes available on my website, the link to that's in my bio, as well as the replay for the live stream for you to go back as well. And then also, I am releasing an ebook for the HESI and TEAS Anatomy and Physiology portion. It's releasing very soon, and I'm giving it a $20 discount code that is only available if you reach out to me with the word ebook. I will hook you up with it, and you can use that whenever it drops. It should be releasing very soon. Just use that orange button to get in contact with me. But number 11, which skin layer contains blood vessels and nerve endings? The answer is C. It is the dermis. So remember, we had our epidermis, our dermis, and our hypodermis. Our dermis has the fat in it. The epidermis is avascular, and it does not have vessels. And yes, hypodermis, sometimes they run through them, but mainly we're going to see the site of exchange, and our pressure is going to be in the dermis. So the dermis is going to support the dermis, since it's avascular, with nerves and blood, and collecting the nutrients and waste and all the functions of the circulatory system. Number 12, what is a primary function of bone? What is a primary function of bone? And if I miss any questions, please feel free to repeat them down in the comments. Sometimes I'm writing on my screen and I miss. Yep, epi is the most outer layer of the skin, correct. Epi means above, and hypo means below. So epidermis would mean above the dermis. Hypodermis would mean below the dermis. That's why medical terminology is elite whenever you're taking anatomy and physiology. It can often just give away the answer sometimes. But number 13, number 12, my bad, number 12. The answer is C. It does produce red blood cells. So the bone marrow in long bones, so our red marrow, performs hematopoiesis. Did I spell that right? Yes. Our bone, the red marrow, and the bone marrow produces hematopoiesis in the long bone. The insulin is for pancreas, storing bile. That is going to be the gallbladder. Our bile is produced by the liver. And then filtering waste is going to be done by the kidneys. But yes, the bone does have more function than just support and structure. It does have some hematopoiesis effects in it and function. That is one of the main functions as well. But number 13, what causes osteoporosis? What causes osteoporosis? Thank you guys for all the follows. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thanks for liking the live stream. We just hit 7,000 likes. Thank you guys so much. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I have taken anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 in undergrad and graduate school. I got an A and 100% on all my final exams. Rad students, tech here. Take A&P this semester. Good luck, Rad tech student. Awesome, good luck. You got this. Keep up the hard work. Super helpful with the TEAS. I just took it to pay attention to this video. Awesome. Thank you so much, Les. Awesome. You guys are incredible. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for following along. I'll be going live every single day, covering anatomy and physiology and helping you guys out for the TEAS and HESI as well. But number 13, the answer is C. It is the loss of calcium and bone matrix. So essentially, when you have a loss of calcium and bone matrix, the bones, they become very weak and brittle. And this is mainly because we have a reduced mineral density. Remember that calcium is the main mineral that is stored in bone. An overproduction of synovial fluid, not necessarily. Growth hormone, that would be with growth issues, not bone loss. And then increased cartilage formation, that would not be related to bone loss as well. We're going to move on to number 14. What type of joint is found at the shoulder? What type of joint is found at the shoulder? Why do an A&P1 final review? Yes, I will, actually. I did one for the spring semester. I will be doing an A&P1 final review, especially for the summer semester, too. Thank you guys for the roses. You guys are awesome. I can't believe I'm scrolling TikTok and came across this live. I'm going to do it for prereqs. Awesome. Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely love doing these live streams. I hope to see you here when you take your classes. But number 14, the shoulder is a ball and socket joint. If you think about it, you have a humerus and it has a head, which you consider the ball, and then the cavity is what the ball and socket would be, or the fossa in a way. The shoulder has the greatest range of motion as a ball and socket joint does. It's also in your hip. It can allow rotation and movement in all directions. Hinge would be an example of your elbow and knee. It's kind of like a door hinge. Saddle is your thumb, and the pivot would be your neck. Number 15, the periosteum is what? What is the periosteum? Is anyone in here taking anatomy and physiology this summer in the fall? Taking anatomy and physiology next to immediate fall. Thank you so much. You're taking anatomy and physiology this summer. Do I also do A&P2? Yep, we do A&P1 and A&P2. Today we're actually doing both A&P1 and A&P2. We start off with A&P1, then work our way up to A&P2. I also have some pharmacology as a bonus for anyone who sticks around at the end. Are these similar questions to the TEAS? Yes, they are similar. They're not the exact ones because that would be cheating. I'm here to help you review and practice and figure out where you might need some extra help. All right, you took it, got an A, awesome. This summer, awesome. Ollie helped me a lot in A&P. Ooh, one sec. Veronica, Ollie, you helped me a lot in anatomy and physiology. I passed the HESI a few days ago with an A. Thank you. Awesome. Congratulations for passing the HESI. Awesome. If we could get a congratulations in chat, that would be fantastic. Awesome. But number 15, and then I'll answer some more questions here. I'll give the answer, and then we'll answer some of the questions that you guys are asking in the chat. The periosteum is C. It is the fibrous membrane that covers bone. So the periosteum surrounds the outer surface of bones. The end of a long bone is the epiphysis. The inner bone layer, this is the endosteum. And the spongy bone matrix, that's like the inner cancellous bone. So peri typically means covering. And then endo would mean inside. Or in. All right, I'll leave that question up there. And we're going to move on to number 16. Which mineral is the most important for bone health? If you've just joined us or anything like that, I do post the replays of these to YouTube either the same day or the next morning. It's linked in my TikTok bio. And I also have my anatomy and physiology notes for you guys as well. Those are available via my bio. If you have any trouble getting to them, hit the orange button. If you had any trouble with the material that we just went over, please hit the orange button. I'll take some quick questions here while you guys are working on number 16. Let me take a look here. Awesome, we just hit 10,000 likes on the live. You guys are incredible. What type of joint is your wrist or ankle? So let's write this here. So wrist/ankle. It's going to be a condyloid or ellipsoidal. Basically, that type of joint allows for flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, circumduction for your wrist. And then your ankle is going to be a hinge joint. So it allows for like dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. So wrist condyloid, ankle is hinge. Fantastic. But number 16, which mineral is the most important for bone health? We've been talking about this. The answer is C. It is calcium. So like when we have a loss of calcium, that's where we see something like osteoporosis. Sodium is more for nerve and muscle function. Potassium is for like fluid balance, and iron is for blood oxygen transport. But number 17, what is the neurotransmitter that triggers a muscle contraction? Thank you guys. I mean, hi, hello, welcome in, welcome. Is anyone taking anatomy and physiology this summer? But welcome in. My name is Ollie. I've been tuning A&P for about 5 years now. I love doing these live streams. I'm going to be going live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics and then some other topics that you guys do request. So definitely hit that like button. Definitely want to get as many people in here just to give as many resources as possible and help as many people out on anatomy and physiology. It's always accelerated in the summer. So definitely want to get as much content out as possible. The answer is C. It is acetylcholine. So acetylcholine is what gets released at the neuromuscular junction. So if this is our muscular tissue, calcium is what basically helps the vesicle move. For exocytosis, acetylcholine gets released across the cleft, binds to receptors, allowing for the action potential to hit it. And then calcium again gets released, and that's what binds and goes on to form the muscle contraction. But number 18, which muscle type is involuntary and striated? Do you do chemistry? Yeah, we do chemistry on here sometimes, yes. I'm taking A&P1 this summer, awesome. Mine starts June 2nd. It's coming up Monday. I'm taking neuroscience, but took anatomy last semester. Oh, neuroscience. Neuroscience is very hard, but it's very interesting. I have a lab practical on Tuesday. Oh my goodness. Thank you, it's helping me a lot. Awesome. I have lab practical on Tuesday. Lab practicals, definitely practice your labeling for lab. Absolutely. You're doing neuroscience too. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for the follows, guys. Thanks for liking the live. We just hit 13,000 likes on the live. I appreciate you guys smashing the screen. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. But number 18, which muscle type is involuntary and striated? The answer is C. Striated means banded. And when something is banded in terms of tissue, the function of it is for rhythmacy. You have your heart rate. Your heart beats rhythmically. Involuntary means you don't have to consciously think about it. Like the way that you would flex your hand, you don't have to make sure you're doing this to your heart to pump blood. That would be super bad. I mean, a lot of people I'm very forgetful sometimes, especially when it comes to things. I would definitely forget to have my heart beat and I would die. But skeletal muscle is voluntary. You have to think about it. Striated, it is also striated. Smooth muscle is involuntary. That's like what's seen in like your ducts, like your digestive system. You don't have to think about moving food through your stomach. Now, putting the food in your mouth, that's a voluntary action. I love eating food, so I am always using my skeletal muscle to get food inside of me. Smooth muscle, and then my smooth muscle takes care of the rest for me, but then hates me afterwards. But smooth is involuntary, and it is not striated. It is not banded. It is not rhythmic. You would not want it to be rhythmically contracting all the time. If you think about it, you're not eating all the time, so you're not digesting all the time. Intercostal, that's not necessarily muscle type. It's a type of skeletal muscle. Number 19, the basic unit of a muscle contraction is called what? there are any questions, I will look at them here in just a sec. Does the smooth muscle have one nuclei? Yes. So smooth muscle typically have one nucleus like per cell. It's located centrally. Skeletal muscle has multiple, and cardiac has one, occasionally two. And the nuclei in skeletal muscle is peripheral. Awesome. Number 19. Fantastic, everybody. The basic unit of muscle contraction is the sarcomere. So sarcomeres are repeating units of actin and myosin in muscle. Myosin and actin are, again, part of the sarcomere tendon. That is what connects muscle to bone. Remember, like, a basic unit is essentially the largest but smallest unit possible that is necessary to complete a function, like the main function. And for muscle contraction, everything within the sarcomere is required for muscle contraction. So that's why the sarcomere is the basic unit of muscle contraction. Number 20, what muscle group flexes the elbow? So flexes the elbow. I'm not a student, just like to watch your live. Awesome, fantastic, I appreciate that. That is awesome. My last lab practical was Wednesday. Oh my goodness, good luck on your last lab practical. Taking the NREMT Monday and using this to study. Yep, no, I've gotten plenty of messages that these live streams have helped study for that. Yeah, absolutely. Crazy this popped up as I'm studying for a certification. That's awesome. I'm glad it popped up. I'm so glad. Number 20, which muscle group flexes the elbow? The answer is C. It is the biceps brachii. So biceps pull the forearm up. The triceps are going to extend. So bicep flex, tricep extends. Deltoid is for your shoulder. And your pectoralis major is for your chest. All right. We're going to move on now to the next page, to number 21. What is the threshold potential of a neuron? If you're just joining, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. We're going to move on to number 21. What is the threshold potential of a neuron? If you were confused on any of the material that we kind of just went over on this last page, there's an orange button in the bottom left corner. If you hit that, send me a question. I have tutoring available, or I can answer some quick questions. I always answer questions directly after live stream. I always set aside time for that. I do post all my replays of these live streams for you to go back and watch the videos on YouTube. The link to that is in my bio. And then I have my anatomy and physiology notes when I was in the class also available in my TikTok bio. If you hit that orange button and you have trouble finding it, I will send you the links there as well. And then also I have an anatomy and physiology ebook releasing soon for the HESI and TEAS exam. It's an exam prep book. I am giving out, in celebration of its launch, I am giving out a $20 coupon. It is only available if you reach out with the word ebook to that orange button. Just send the word ebook. I will send you the coupon code, and you can use it when the ebook releases. Even if you don't buy it, even you just have the coupon in case you decide to ever do. But number 21, what is the threshold potential of a neuron? What is a threshold potential of the neuron? I'll give you guys a couple moments to answer real quick in case you're just joining us again. Awesome. Thank you guys for all the follows. I appreciate it. I always love the new faces. Thank you guys. Welcome in if you're new. Welcome back if you've been here before. I always love both the new and the repeat faces. I try to remember everybody that's pretty consistent in my live streams. But the answer is negative 55 millivolts. So when we talk about a threshold potential, what we're referring to is this is the threshold. So this is the potential that is needed to trigger the action. So you need the potential to get up to negative 55 millivolts. This triggers the action potential. Triggers the action potential. So moving on, number 22, what is the resting membrane potential of a neuron? And then we can kind of go over the numbers here real quick. Before I talk about any of the numbers, I want to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think it is, and what's confusing about this? On what is the resting membrane potential of a neuron? This is very important, and a lot of people get these mixed up. Do I have a new video? Yes, I do have a YouTube video for a learner, anatomy and physiology. Reach out to me via the orange button, and I have a link for how to study anatomy and physiology on YouTube, and I also have a video on how to take notes for how I took my notes. I mean, these are what my notes look like, by the way. These are my notes for the class. I have a video on how I did that on my YouTube as well. But number 22, the resting membrane potential is negative 70 millivolts. So a typical resting, this is the typical resting membrane potential, negative 55. So basically we hit a negative 55. This triggers the action potential. Basically sodium is going to rush in. Then, whatever we have to get done, like sometimes calcium is released, then we have sodium that rushes in to bring it back down. But negative 90, when we talk about up here, negative 90, this is too hyperpolarized. Sometimes there's a refractory period where it shoots down below the resting potential, just to make sure all the channels close. And then 0 is a depolarized state. Negative 40, that's more depolarized. Positive 30, this is our peak of our action potential. So what this looks like on our diagram here, we have our plus 30, our negative 70, and our negative 55. So once this reaches 55, we have a huge increase, and then this goes down. Perfect. Number 23, what structure connects the two cerebral hemispheres? Parasympathetic, let me see. Awesome. My name on my YouTube, it's my name. It's Ollie Herzeg, but it's also linked in my TikTok bio. Thank you guys for 20K likes and live. You guys are incredible. Thank you guys so much. Number 23, what structure connects the two cerebral hemispheres? The answer is B. It is the corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is that thick band of axons and nervous tissue that allows for communication between the two cerebral hemispheres of your brain. Your brain stem is what connects your brain to your spinal cord. Your cerebellum, this is for like your motor control. This is part of your motor control. Hypothalamus is a lot for like autonomic functions, homeostasis. It's going to be for temperature regulation and hormone regulation. It's kind of like your master regulator. Number 24, we're going over which division of the nervous system is responsible for rest and digest, and then we'll talk about this in a second. Because I know someone just asked a little bit earlier. They were getting the differences wrong on this one, and we'll kind of explain at least how I remember it. And what do you guys think it is? I'm seeing some B's, perfect. So the division of the nervous system responsible for rest and digest is the parasympathetic. And then you also have sympathetic. This is your fight or flight. Parasympathetic, the way that I always remember that this is the rest and digest, so you're slowing down. Para in Spanish means stop, but I thought of it as, parasympathetic, parachute. When you're falling, it slows you down, slows you from falling. So resting and digesting, parachute, slowing down when you eat food, stuff like that. Sympathetic, if I run up behind you and yell boo, that's going to activate your fight or flight response. You're either going to run away from me or you're going to turn around and sock me in the face. But that's kind of how I remembered what parasympathetic was when I was going over it. Somatic means like bodies, that's like voluntary control. And then central nervous system makes up your brain and spinal cord. Number 25, the myelin sheath, what? What does the myelin sheath do? What does the myelin sheath do? I love remembering things those ways. Yeah, I know. I actually have, real quick, I have a funny way to remember actin versus myosin. I'll say it real quick. So actin or myosin filaments are thick and actin filaments are thin. The way that I always remembered this was, it's kind of inappropriate, but sometimes the inappropriate ones are the ones that stick. But myosin is thick. She's so thick, it's a sin. And actin like they thick, but they really ain't, means they're thin. That's how I always remembered and never forgot that myosin was thick and actin was thin. I thought it was hilarious. I never forgot it to this day. I remember this for, I don't know why I thought of it, but I've remembered it for like 5 years now. So everyone I tell never says they never forget it now. So. But number 25, the answer is C. It speeds nerve conduction. So the myelin insulates axons. When you insulate something, you enable for a faster electrical signal to occur. Slowing down is incorrect. Regulating neurotransmitters, that is a synaptic function. Protecting gray matter, no direct role in that. But if we have our little neuron, so we have our axon here, and these little insulations here are the myelin sheath, and then these are the nodes of Ranvier in between each one. All right, moving on to number 26. Which gland produces insulin? We're going to move on to the next page. Again, I just want to remind you all. That you can rewatch this at your own pace. If you've joined late or you have to leave it's on YouTube. My YouTube is linked in my TikTok bio. If you're having trouble finding it, hit the orange button, send me a message. I also have anatomy and physiology notes for you guys. Those are also in my TikTok bio. But if you are new here, welcome. Thanks for all the follows. My name is Ollie. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys request. We do like some chem, some bio, some pharmacology. I love doing live streams with you guys. I'm here to do them every day. Summer semester is fast paced. I'm here to put out as much content as possible for you guys. I'll be posting videos on TikTok as well. I'm trying to take as many video requests as possible and do the popular ones. But also, if anything on that last page was a little hard or concerning a little bit with you, I have that orange button that you can reach out to me directly during the live stream, so you don't have to leave, and then you don't have to wait till later and then forget your question. You can send it to me live right now, and I can see it after the live, and I'll answer it. How do I find my notes on TikTok? You just go to my profile, which is up here, and then go to my link in my bio, or you can just send me a message via the orange button that's like down here. Thank you guys so much for the gifts. We're going to move on now to number 26. Which gland produces insulin? I also have an anatomy and physiology ebook coming out soon for the HESI and TEAS. And I am giving out a $20 coupon if you use that orange button to send me the word ebook. And I will send you the coupon. And whenever it gets released, you can use it. And whatever, even if you... I do create these practice tests myself. They get created from my notes. But you can send, if you need any help finding anything, feel free to reach out to me via the orange button. Happy to direct you. I do tutoring and anything. I have plenty of study strategies I'm happy to share and make videos for. But just use the orange button down here if you want some extra resources or some guidance or anything, want to get in touch with me. That is the best way to do it. Sometimes I miss questions in the comments section, so I apologize. Some of the comments sometimes go a little fast, and I write on my screen. We're going to move on to number 26 now, everybody. Thank you guys so much for participating so far, and 25,000 likes in the live. You guys are incredible for hitting that button. But number 26, which gland produces insulin? The answer is pancreas. So the pancreas has beta cells in the islets of Langerhans. And why it's named that, I'm not sure. It might be because somebody named Langerhans discovered it. Hopefully I discover something one day and then I can name it after myself, Ollie. I would love to do that. But they produce insulin and they regulate your blood glucose levels. They decrease the blood glucose level in your bloodstream. Adrenal is more for like cortisol, adrenaline, aldosterone, but not insulin. Thyroid is going to be for your thyroid hormones. Pituitary produces many, but not insulin. That is not one of the ones it produces. But number 27, which hormone stimulates ovulation? Which hormone stimulates ovulation? The answer, Let me see. Oh, we haven't gone over 28 yet. We will get there in just a moment. If I have any more memory strategies, please share as we study. Yep, I will so one of my like biggest memory strategies, definitely like repetition. I always basically like had, if anything, like I had flashcards for terms, I had pictures for labeling, and I would practice labeling like pretty much every day, like in the morning and then at night. And then I had a whiteboard, but you don't need a whiteboard. You can put it on a piece of paper. I had like, I called it my failure board. Basically anything that I was like really struggling with, I kept it on there. So I had to like constantly remind myself and keep it in the back of my mind. But memory, when it comes to what things are, flashcards, where things are, practice labeling. Number 27, which hormone stimulates ovulation? The answer is B. It is luteinizing hormone. This is referred to as the LH surge. This is going to trigger the release of a mature egg from the ovary, which is our ovulation. So ovulation is when the egg is released. Estrogen prepares the uterus and secondary sex characteristics, but does not directly trigger ovulation. It's indirect, yes, but not directly. Progesterone is going to maintain that uterine lining. Post-ovulation, FSH, follicle-stimulating hormone, is going to stimulate follicle growth. 28, the adrenal medulla releases. A lot of students get this mixed up, so we'll definitely cover this one, number 28. In previous live streams, I've seen some people mix this one up. Oh, I mean, the memory share. Yeah, as we go through, I'll come up with them. Sometimes, how long is this live going to be? It's going to be at least 2 hours today. So you can expect us to be here till 5. But I have 75 questions for A and P, and then I have some 15 pharmacology questions that we'll do. Okay, sorry, Brianna. The memory strategies like I did with the myosin and actin. I'll definitely, as I go through, if I remember which ones, I will definitely say them out loud. Sometimes I don't have them already at the top of my brain. Sometimes I just think about them, but I will definitely say them as we go through stuff. Gotta go wait back from minutes. Okay, gotcha. Number 28. The answer is C. It is epinephrine. So what a lot of students get mixed up is you have your adrenal medulla and you have the adrenal cortex. A lot of students think that epinephrine is also the cortex, but it's actually cortisol. So the adrenal medulla releases epinephrine as adrenaline and norepinephrine, and this is during our stress response. A little more short-term, long-term stress releases cortisol, and that comes from the adrenal cortex. And the way you think about it, cortisol, core, cortex, core. That's how I always remember that. Aldosterone is also from the adrenal cortex, and then thyroid-stimulating hormone is from the pituitary. Let's move on to number 29. Which gland is known as the master gland? Because it basically functions by releasing, but it basically regulates other endocrine glands, essentially, is why it would be called that. I'll give you guys just a moment to answer that. What do we think it is for number 29? Which gland is known as the master gland? The answer is our pituitary. The hypothalamus, that is our master regulator. It regulates the pituitary. The pituitary gland is our master gland. What was the question? How does adrenaline secretion work? Because isn't adrenaline a secondary messenger? But adrenaline itself isn't a secondary messenger. Adrenaline is a hormone and a neurotransmitter in a way. But it gets secreted by the adrenal medulla into the bloodstream as a part of that fight or flight response to basically trigger the sympathetic nervous system. Then it travels to target tissues and binds to the receptors, like beta-adrenergic receptors. And then when it binds, it activates a G protein. What happens is there's it's like CAMP. The cyclic AMP, that's the secondary messenger. That activates enzymes to produce the actual response. So adrenaline would, as a hormone, is a first messenger. Number 30, what is the function of fibrinogen in blood plasma? What is the function of fibrinogen in blood plasma? Thank you. No problem. Would that help whoever asked that question? Thank you guys for all the follows. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the heart as well. Thank you guys so much. We're on number 30 now. Tony, that help? Okay, gotcha. Perfect. Yeah, no problem. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If anything else, hit that orange button, send me a message. I have tutoring, or I can try to answer quick questions. But number 30, what is the function of fibrinogen in blood plasma? The answer is C. It is blood clotting. So fibrinogen gets converted to fibrin. This is going to form like a mesh type thing. Basically, that stabilizes blood clots. Oxygen transport done by hemoglobin. Immune defense is our white blood cells. Hormone transport. Though the hormones kind of travel mostly dissolved or like after it binds to some sort of protein, not fibrinogen. All right, we're going to move on now to the next page. Number 31, what chamber of the heart receives deoxygenated blood? The pathway of blood flow through the heart and around the body is one of the most important things to learn in anatomy and physiology and healthcare in general. But before we move on, I just want to remind you guys that this is going to be available on my YouTube afterwards as well. It's linked in my TikTok bio as well as my notes. If you guys have anything, send me a message via the orange button down the bottom left screen. Thank you guys for 30K likes on the live. The name of my YouTube is just my name. It's Ollie Herzig. But again, it's linked in my TikTok bio. If you have trouble finding it, shoot me a message via that orange button. But again, if you're having trouble with anything, hit that orange button. Let's just send me a message directly during the live stream. I'll be answering all the questions afterwards. Again, my notes are linked in my bio. But if you want the links directly sent to you, awesome. Thank you guys for the 50% of the live goal. You guys are incredible. I'm also dropping an ebook for the HESI and TEAS exam. An exam prep book for anatomy and physiology. It's releasing very soon. I have a $20 discount code that is available. If you hit that orange button, it's only available there. You just message me the word ebook and I'll hook you up. You can use it when it drops. Even if you don't end up using it, you still have it. I'll let you guys know when it gets uploaded. Number 31, what chamber of the heart receives deoxygenated blood? What chamber of the heart receives deoxygenated blood? Yep, this is going to be on my YouTube. Taking the TEAS next week, so nervous. Don't be nervous, just keep studying. Keep active with the material, and you definitely got it. And you guys definitely got it. But again, what chamber of the heart receives deoxygenated blood? The answer is B. It is the right atrium. So blood enters the right atrium via the superior and the inferior vena cava. The left atrium receives... Oh, awesome, guys. 80% of the live goal. Thank you guys so much for all the gifts on the live. I also have a subscription feature on there as well. But I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for all the follows and all the likes. We just hit 31,000 likes on the live. You guys are killing the like button. Like, that's awesome. I'm so thankful for you guys. But number 32, what gas moves from the blood to the alveoli? Thank you guys for the heart. Thank you guys for the gifts so much. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for the follows. Again, if you are new here, I will be going live every single day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys request as well. We'll be live again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going over anatomy and physiology. Number 32, the answer is C. It is carbon dioxide. It is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide diffuses from the blood into the alveoli, essentially to be exhaled during gas exchange. Oxygen moves from the alveoli into the blood. So into the blood. But the alveoli are the site of gas exchange. If you didn't know, I think I saw a question on that. They're the site of gas exchange in the lungs. They're like these weird, like, ball cluster thingy looking things. I don't have a picture of it with me right now, but B, nitrogen. That's mostly inert, so not necessarily regular. But hydrogen, not also directly involved. 33, what function is impaired in emphysema? What function is impaired in emphysema? I'll give you guys just a moment to answer. What do we think it is for number 33? Which function is impaired in emphysema? I'm seeing some A's, All right. You guys are awesome. It is gas exchange. So emphysema is essentially is what's going to destroy the alveolar walls. And again, we just talked about the alveoli is the site of gas exchange. But what it does is it reduces the surface area for the oxygen and CO2 exchange, which is our gas exchange. So emphysema destroys alveolar walls, reducing the surface area for oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange. So the answer is gas exchange. Number 34, what structure covers the lungs and lines the thoracic cavity? Thank you guys for all the follows as well. Thank you guys so much. You guys are incredible. Yep, my lives are uploaded to my YouTube. The link is in my bio to that, as well as my notes for anatomy and physiology. 33,000 likes on the live. You guys are incredible. What do we think number 34 is? I'm seeing some A's, some B's. So 34, the answer is the pleura. The pleura is the structure that covers the lungs and it lines the thoracic cavity. The pleura is a double membrane. It surrounds each lung and aligns the chest cavity. The diaphragm is the muscle under the lungs. The pericardium covers the heart, and the larynx is the voice box. Number 35. Which blood vessel carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart? I'll give you guys just a moment to answer that. I took AP Psychology test like 2 weeks ago. I think I failed that. Oh, no. No, I remember the AP Psych, I think everyone did better than they thought they did. Whenever I took AP Psych in high school, is it anatomy, physiology, psychology, or like a high school AP Psych? Because I remember in AP Psych in high school, everyone thought that they failed, and then everyone actually did really well. But number 35, which blood vessel carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart? What do we got? What do you guys think? Let's talk about it. The answer is B. It is the pulmonary vein. The pulmonary vein, remember, arteries don't just carry oxygenated blood. They carry blood away from the heart, veins back to the heart. So pulmonary arteries are going to take deoxygenated blood to the lungs. This is where they become oxygenated. This is where that gas exchange occurs. And then it returns to the heart via the pulmonary vein. Pulmonary artery is deoxygenated. Pulmonary vein is oxygenated. And then also I think your umbilical and embryonic artery and veins are swapped as well. But pretty much for the most part, most arteries carry oxygenated, veins deoxygenated. All right, we're going to move on now to number 36. Lacteals are lymphatic vessels that are found in where? And if you were having any trouble with anything that we just covered at any point, you can go to that orange button down the bottom, like left corner there, and you can send me a message. I have some tutoring. I have notes. I can help you get set up in the right direction, answer quick questions. I answer all the questions after the live. It sends me a direct message, so you don't have to leave or miss anything. And you can answer the questions as you think of them. But again, my anatomy and physiology notes are located in my bio. You can also rewatch this replay on YouTube, linked in my bio as well. And then I also am going to be going live every single day covering anatomy and physiology topics that you guys request. I'll be live again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live every day. I do other topics as well, like pharmacology. So definitely give me a follow. Definitely let me know what you want to see. I'm more than happy to include the questions. I love doing the topic requests. I love putting them in here. I love knowing what you guys need and helping you out. Summer is so fast. I want to put out as much content as possible for the summer for you guys. We're going to move on to number 36. Lacteals are lymphatic vessels that are found where? I give you guys a couple seconds to answer. Give me 1 sec. My TikTok wants me to confirm my activity. Fantastic. The answer, and I'll answer some questions that I see in the comments here real quick after I explain this one. But lacteals are the lymphatic vessels that are found in the intestinal villi. Lacteals, they are going to absorb dietary fats in your small intestine. And those are lymphatic vessels. So one of the functions of the lymphatic system is absorbing fats. All right. The spleen, it's a lymphatic organ, no lacteals though. That's mostly for red blood cell recycling. Bone marrow, that's blood cell production. And then lungs, no lacteals are present in there. They are present in the villi of the small intestine. Number 37, which organ filters the blood and removes old red blood cells? And if I missed your question, please feel free to put it in there. How do you find my notes? They're linked in my TikTok bio. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. I'm almost monetized on YouTube, so I would any second you spend watching my YouTube videos, I will be so grateful. Former health coworker knew it was me remembering my blood drop circulation test. Oh my gosh. That's incredible that you remember that, though. That's impressive. My YouTube name is, I'll put it right here. It is Ollie Herzeg. But again, you can just go to the direct link in my bio, or if you have trouble, reach out to me via the orange button. But number 37 is the spleen. The spleen is going to, if you get a little recycle logo, it is going to recycle old and damaged red blood cells, and it also filters pathogens. The lymph node is for filtering lymph, not blood. The thymus, that's for like maturing T cells, not blood filtering. The liver detoxifies, but does not specifically remove red blood cells, but it can aid in detoxifying them. And then the kidney also filters blood to form urine, though, and whatnot. But let's move on to number 38. What type of cell produces antibodies? What type of cell produces antibodies? Yep, I do have my YouTube. This is the YouTube name. Fantastic. What do we think it is? Awesome. What do we think it is? Number 38, the answer is a B cell. The thing about it, so antibody, body has a B in it. B cell, B. T cells are thymus derived, and they are for cell-mediated immunity. Macrophages are going to engulf pathogens. Natural killer cells destroys infected or cancerous ones, so no antibodies there. But number 39, let's move on to number 39 now, everybody. Which of the following is not a primary lymphatic organ? So it's not a primary one. So primary, when we talk about primary, in case anyone doesn't know, primary refers to where lymphocytes mature. So that's what primary means, in case, just to give somewhat of a hint there. Just to be clear on that one. So what's the difference between the liver and the spleen? The main function of the liver is for like metabolism, like detoxification and bile production. The spleen is for filtering blood. And the liver is more for the digestive system, and the lymphatic is more in like your immune system. All right. So the answer is, it is spleen. The spleen is secondary. It is secondary. So the thymus is where T cells mature, and the bone marrow is where B cells mature. So as a primary, when we're talking about primary lymphatic organs, it's where lymphocytes mature. T cells are in the thymus, B cells are in the bone marrow. The spleen just filters the old red blood cells or damaged red blood cells. So it would be secondary because there's no maturing going on there. Number 40, most digestion and absorption occurs in the what? Most digestion and absorption occurs in the what? Yep, you can live without your spleen. Yes, you can. You are more prone to like infections, but yes, you can live without it. Thank you guys. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for the 36,000 likes on the live stream. You guys are incredible. Thank you guys for subscribing on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for subscribing, Brianna. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. I love doing these live streams. We'll be going live every day. I will be trying to get out as much content as possible. Thank you guys so much for following. Again, we'll be live every day. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Anatomy and Physiology. Right now, we're on number 40. Most digestion and absorption occurs in the small intestine. So the small intestine functions to digest nutrients and absorb most of the food molecules. We'll kind of talk about the rest of these as we go on here and the functions of each, just so I don't give away any future answers. But remember, most digestion and absorption occurs in the small intestine, but also with the stomach. A lot of digestion occurs there, but that's protein digestion. But there is very minimal absorption. There is not very much absorption in the stomach, but there is a lot of digestion. But digestion does start in the stomach and in the mouth as well. So when we talk about like starting in the mouth, we have our like amylase that starts breaking down the carbohydrates. Then we go to our stomach and we start the protein digestion and a little bit of absorption. But when we move to the small intestine is where we see the most amount of both digestion and absorption. All right, I'll leave that question up there for just a moment. We're going to move on to number 41. What enzyme breaks down starch in the mouth? I kind of just gave that away by accident. Like I just said, it was amylase. So you have salivary... So sorry about... Sometimes I do that by accident. Because I yap. I'm a salivary... So sorry about... Sometimes I do that by accident. Because I yap. I'm a yapper when it comes to A&P. But salivary and pancreatic amylase. Salivary just means it's in your mouth. Pancreatic means it comes from your pancreas. It goes to your small intestine. As we mentioned, most digestion and absorption occurs in the small intestine. Let's move on to number 42 now. Which organ stores bile? Which organ stores bile? He's not on that question. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. But again, real quick here before we move on, if there was anything that you guys were confused about, I do have tutoring or I do answer quick questions. That orange button, you can hit that, ask a question during the live stream so you don't have to leave and miss anything or forget a question. You can, if you have a question, send it and then you can stay in the live. And if you have another question, just so you don't have to leave or forget a question. And I will be going live every single day covering anatomy and physiology topics this summer. I appreciate you guys being here. I love doing these live streams. You guys are incredible. Number 42, which organ stores bile? Which organ stores bile? The answer is C. It is the gallbladder. So the liver, so just because, so a lot of people think, so the liver produces bile. So this is going to produce the bile. And then it's going to get stored and released from the gallbladder. But some people think that the gallbladder does produce bile. It doesn't. Just because something stores and releases it doesn't mean that's where it was produced. Let's move on. Number 43, what waste product is formed from the breakdown of protein? From the protein breakdown. Guys, I don't know why I already passed my NCLEX. Oh my gosh, I appreciate you being here despite passing your NCLEX already. I do appreciate you being here. That one's on the HESI exam. Oh, awesome. That's incredible. Can you watch this again? Yes, it'll be on YouTube. It's linked in my bio. Every single TikTok live replay you can rewatch on YouTube to go back at your own pace, or if you join late or want to leave early, that's why that is done for you guys. But number 43, the answer is urea. This is a waste product that is formed from protein breakdown. So it is produced in the liver from ammonia, which is a toxic byproduct of protein metabolism. So ammonia is that toxic intermediate. So ammonia is what gets converted into urea to get excreted. So again, ammonia is very toxic. So to get rid of something that's toxic, we convert it into something else and then we get rid of it in a non-toxic way. So it gets converted into urea and excreted through the urine as safely and as non-toxically as possible. Number 44, what structure filters blood to form urine? What structure filters blood to form urine? Yep, these questions aren't available yet. I'll be posting them. Definitely reach out to me for them. I have other tests on my website as well. Those are linked in my bio. So some people get this question a little mixed up just because of the answer choices. So let's go over them real quick. So, what structure filters blood to form urine? The answer is a nephron. So nephron is the entire functional unit of the kidney that altogether filters blood and forms urine. Some people, when they put glomerulus, so yes, the glomerulus does filter blood, but the glomerulus is not responsible for the entire urine formation. The nephron, the functional unit itself, is collectively what filters blood to form urine. The bladder is what's going to store it, and the ureter transports it. Does that make sense for everybody? Number 45, what hormone increases water resorption in the kidneys? Awesome, everybody. Awesome. What do we think here? What hormone increases water reabsorption in the kidneys? I'll give you guys a couple seconds. Thank you. I'm taking AMP again and feel confident scanning your page. Awesome. Yeah, no, we're here to find out what you might not know and how to try to help increase that knowledge gap, decrease the knowledge gap. I definitely want to make sure we're getting as many people some help that they need for anatomy and physiology. Number 45, what hormone increases water resorption in the kidneys? The answer is ADH. So ADH is anti-diuretic hormone. What this does is this is going to increase the permeability of the kidney tubules to water, essentially allowing for the reabsorption. So this is partially, aldosterone is partially true. It is indirect. What aldosterone does is this increases sodium reabsorption. However, indirectly, water follows sodium. So indirectly would reabsorb water. But antidiuretic hormone directly impacts increasing the permeability, meaning that you're going to increase the amount of water reabsorption. Perfect. And then insulin is going to be relating to regulating glucose. Cortisol is going to be for our stress hormone, so no role there with kidney water reabsorption. So remember, aldosterone, sodium reabsorption, and yes, water does get absorbed, but it is indirectly. Antidiuretic hormone is what is going to directly and primarily increase water reabsorption. Moving on here, everybody, to number 46. What is the process of releasing a mature egg called? And just recapping on the last question there, if there was any trouble with anything that we just went over, I do offer tutoring, or I also will be answering questions if you hit that orange button down the live. That's the best way to get in touch with me. Just try to get you either tutoring or to your right set of notes, or just any quick questions that you need answered or study tips. I can make some videos for you guys. But again, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for 5 years now. And I'll be going live every day covering AMP and other topics that you guys do as well. Do I do USMLE prep? I do sometimes, yes. Mostly anatomy and physiology for like undergraduate HESI and TEAS. But sometimes, yes, we do. But number 46, we're going to move on to. And again, remember, I do have this replay on YouTube if you want to go back and rewatch. But we're going to move on now to number 46. What is the process of releasing a mature egg called? And the answer is ovulation. So ovulation is the release of an egg from an ovary. Menstruation is going to refer to the shedding of the uterine lining. Fertilization is where our sperm meets our egg. Hello, welcome. Implantation is where that fertilized egg, I'm just going to put FERT, that'd be an interesting name for an egg. The FERT egg attaches to the uterus. Oops, that's a terrible way to spell it. Yeesh. All right. Number 47, what structure transports sperm from the testes? Right now, tomorrow, I will give an updated time, but for tomorrow, it's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tomorrow, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll release the rest of the dates shortly. Or I shouldn't say dates, but times. Thank you for this. Yeah, no, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys being here. We're almost at 40,000 likes in the live. You guys are incredible. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I love doing these live streams, so I'm so happy that you are here. Number 47, what structure transports sperm from the testes? The answer is C. It is the vas deferens. They carry sperm from the testes to the urethra. The seminal vesicle is going to produce fluid. Prostate is also going to produce fluid to help nourish the sperm, and the urethra is just what transports sperm outside the body. So just outside the body. Moving on to number 48. Which hormone triggers the development of female secondary sex characteristics? Awesome. Thank you guys for all the follows. I really appreciate it. Awesome. I also, for those of you who are taking the HESI and TEAS, I'm very close. It's going to be releasing soon. I have an ebook to purchase soon, and I'm giving out a $20 discount code that is only available if you reach out to me through the orange button. You just send me the word ebook. I'll send you that discount code. You can use it when it comes out. You don't have to use it if you don't want to end up getting it, but at least you have the coupon. Thank you for the roses, Katana. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the gifts and all the subs. You guys are incredible. I appreciate the support. I love doing these, so any support I get is awesome. What was the question there? Am says, your lessons have helped me so much in succeeding in my EMT course. Thank you so much for letting me know that. I'm glad I'm helping in any way. But honestly, though, like, awesome that you're succeeding in your EMT course. It's a very hard, challenging, just course in general and career, and a lot goes into becoming and being an EMT. So awesome. That is great that you're succeeding, and I hope that I can keep helping you succeed and that you do keep succeeding. But number 48, just to answer the question here real quick, and then I'll take a look back at the comments. The answer is D. It is estrogen. It is estrogen. So estrogen promotes the development, again, of the female secondary sex characteristics. That is going to be mainly the breasts and giving an appearance of wider hips and etc. and whatnot. Luteinizing hormone we talked about earlier, so we think of the LH surge. It triggers ovulation, which is the release of an egg, but not the secondary sex characteristics. Testosterone is going to be for male secondary sex characteristics, and progesterone, again, is preparing the uterus for pregnancy. All right. Moving on now to number 49. Which gland is an example of an exocrine gland? So we have endocrine glands and exocrine glands. Tell me what an example is, and then we'll kind of go over the difference. Thank you guys so much for the follows. Thank you guys so much for hitting 50,000 likes on the live. You guys are incredible. Thank you for the rose, Black Diamond. I appreciate all the gifts. Thank you guys for all the follows and all the likes and sharing the live. You guys are incredible. Just past AMP, this gave me a visceral reaction. Oh my gosh. Fantastic, everybody. You guys are killing it with the answer choices here. Number 49. The answer is a sweat gland. So an exocrine gland is going to secrete something outside or mainly into a duct. Endocrines secrete directly into the blood. So pituitary, adrenal, and thyroid, these three all secrete directly into the bloodstream, making them endocrine. So exocrine is into a duct or outside. So the sweat, you sweat outside of your body, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, everybody? Perfect. I'm so glad. So glad. Let's move on to number 50 now, everybody. Number 50, where does fertilization usually occur? Yes, thank you. Perfect. Yes. Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. You guys are killing this live stream, guys. Thank you guys for all the gifts. I really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. Hello to everybody that just joined. Wow, there are so many of you, 536 of you, and 41,000 likes in the live. It is incredible. Welcome in. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for 5 years now, and I am going to go live every day covering anatomy and physiology practice tests, trying to help you guys better ace your anatomy class or your HESI and TEAS. I'll be going live every day. I also do some other topics as well, like we've done pharm, chem, bio, some psych stuff before. Thank you guys for the more gifts. We're on number 50 now. Where does fertilization usually occur? Where does fertilization usually occur? You guys have been answering. A lot of you guys got D, which is the right answer. It is the fallopian tube. So fertilization, where the sperm meets the egg, occurs at the fallopian tube, specifically the ampulla. The uterus is the implantation site, not fertilization. The ovary releases the egg, and the vagina is where the sperm is deposited, if you will. But again, fertilization occurring in the fallopian tube at the ampulla. Before I move on here to let's move on to number 51, and then we'll chat real quick. 51, which part of the brain regulates breathing and heart rate? Which part of the brain regulates breathing and heart rate? But again, welcome. My name is Ollie. I will be going live every day covering anatomy and physiology. And if there was anything that we went over that you were struggling with, I do have notes, and I do have the replay of the live stream. Those are available on my TikTok bio, or if you reach out to me via the orange button in the bottom left corner. I think I can also pin it. Let me see. Where is it? Let me pin. There you go. You can send me a direct message if you need some resources for anatomy and physiology. I have notes. I can send you the link to the YouTube. Or if you have a question or if you want tutoring, I do tutor as well. The spots are limited though, so let me know. I'm also releasing an ebook for the HESI and TEAS anatomy and physiology portion. If you message me via that button with the word ebook, I will give you the code. It's $20 coupon. Whenever it releases, it should be releasing very shortly. Again, you don't have to use the coupon, but you just have it. That's the only way to get it. You have to message me through that orange button. Let's move on now to 51. 51. Which part of the brain regulates breathing and heart rate? The answer is the medulla oblongata. So the medulla oblongata is going to control autonomic functions like our heart rate, our breathing, and our blood pressure. And then the cerebrum, this is going to be for controlling like the higher brain functions. This is like our thoughts. The hypothalamus is mostly for like homeostasis functions, like temperature, hunger, endocrine function, but not directly on heart rate and breathing and whatnot. The cerebellum, this is coordinating movement and balance. So it's like coordination. Movement and balance. Then number 52, which muscle assists in breathing by contracting the thoracic cavity? Which muscle assists in breathing by contracting the thoracic cavity? Thank you for taking the time, using your spare time to teach. No, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking your spare time to be here. Truly, yeah, I love doing this. So you guys are the ones that make this possible. So at the end of the day, really, thank you. I love doing this. It's so much fun. I'm having a blast. I hope you guys are having fun too. Don't forget to upload this to YouTube. Nope, I definitely won't. I download it right after the live. It just the time it takes kind of just depends because it has to download from TikTok and then I have to upload it to YouTube. The processing time kind of depends. But we just hit 44,000 likes on the live. That is incredible. I saw someone new here. Hello, I'm new here. When do I usually go live? So I normally go live every day. The time depends. For now, it's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be releasing a schedule tomorrow night as well on TikTok that you can go look. I'll be putting, if you go to my profile, it'll say like live event scheduled. You can see what time I'll be going live as well. But number 52. Which muscle assists in breathing by contracting the thoracic cavity? The answer is A. It's going to be the intercostal muscles. So the intercostal muscles, meaning the intercostal mean they are between the ribs. They expand and they contract the rib cage during breathing. The rectus abdominis is going to be in our trunk, like our body, like flexion. So not respiration. Deltoid moves the arms, biceps going to flex the elbow. All unrelated to breathing. 53, which vitamin is produced in the skin from sunlight exposure? Which vitamin is produced in the skin from sunlight exposure? This is great. Are you going to go over AMP2 cardio soon? Yeah, I had some cardio questions earlier in the live, but I'll be going live again tomorrow. There will be cardiovascular system questions on there as well. On YouTube, though, I have done like specific cardiovascular sessions and I've done specific body systems. So if you go to YouTube and scroll through the playlist for anatomy and physiology, you will find systems where I've done questions before. So every replay is on YouTube and you can go back and watch those by system and whatnot. So yeah, I can scroll back up real quick. But again, if you miss anything, it'll be on YouTube afterwards. But 52, let's talk about it. I'm sorry, 53. It is vitamin D. Vitamin D. So which vitamin is produced in the skin from sunlight exposure? Basically, probably too much detail, but in a sense, just the molecular mechanism of it. Just because that's what my master's is in, so I love that stuff. UV radiation is going to trigger in the skin. It's called 7-dehydrocholesterol. It's going to trigger vitamin D synthesis. So you have your I can never write U and V. Your UV rays, they're your 7. I'm just going to put a DHC, and that is going to trigger vitamin D. But I love molecular mechanisms and stuff. That's my master's in and research was in, so fantastic stuff. Number 54, though, I won't bore you with the details. But 54, which system transport hormones throughout the body? I'm using good notes, and yes, I do go over chemistry here and there. This is both, right now we're covering, it's a little bit of a mix of both ANP1 and ANP2. Typically, though, I normally do ANP1 on Mondays and AMP2 on Tuesdays, and then everything else is kind of scattered and mixed in, and we sometimes do a specific topic and whatnot. But I will be going live every single day. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I go live every day covering anatomy and physiology for you guys, for your AMP class, for your HESI and TEAS. Some people have said that this is great for the MCAT, the DAT, for EMT stuff, medical assistant. Like, it's great for all you guys. Psych review soon. Yeah, absolutely. I also have some on my YouTube as well, but my YouTube name is Ollie Herzig. It's also linked in my TikTok bio, as well as my notes for A&P. These are not the same questions. That would be cheating. These are review questions. So I'm here to help you guys review and figure out where you're missing. Dental hygiene, yeah, for the anatomy and physiology portion, yeah. This is really to figure out where you're having trouble so we can either focus on a live stream on a specific section or topic, or you reach out to me and whatnot. I'm currently studying for my MCAT and studying for a Bachelor of Science. Awesome. Can we do some biology questions? Yep, absolutely. Number 54. The answer is B. It is the circulatory system. The circulatory. So hormones are released into the bloodstream and they're carried throughout the body via the circulatory system. Our nervous is going to send electrical impulses, not hormones. And then respiratory, that's for gas exchange, lymphatic for draining fluids and immunity. But again, hormones are transported through the bloodstream via the circulatory system. Number 55, which organ is at risk during thoracic trauma? So any sort of trauma that is going to occur to the thoracic area. This is a good source for prerequisites class radio. Yes, absolutely it is. Yes. My professor would be proud. Awesome. Yep, my AMP notes are in my bio still. Yes. Oh, Scott, good to see you again. I think you were here when I started posting on TikTok. Actually, if I remember you correctly. If you're still here, this is exactly what prereqs are. Yes, this information. Yep, this is all for the prereqs and whatnot to help you. Again, mostly for HESI and TEAS, but again, it's great for everything. So HESI, TEAS, undergrad, just good review for medical students, pharmacy students. Just good review for anybody. I have a lot of people in here who aren't even a student anymore that just like to refresh themselves because they work in healthcare. Yes, I was here when you first started. Thank you. Yeah, no, I remember you. Yeah, no, you're very good to see you again. I hope you're doing well, by the way. Number 55. Which organ is at risk during thoracic trauma? The answer is C. It is the lungs. So again, in our thoracic cavity, we're going to have our lungs plus our heart. So if there was the heart here, that would also be an acceptable answer. But the liver is located in so all three of these, the liver, the kidney, and the pancreas, these are all going to be abdominal. Abdominal. 56. Which bone protects the brain? What is the bone that protects the brain? Glad I found you. I will be taking notes for when I start my class soon, so I'm not lost. Perfect. Awesome. CST here. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to take my TEAS again in a nursing program. Awesome. Well, good luck on your TEAS. I graduate in fall 2026 in pre-nursing. Awesome. Highly interested in healthcare. Healthcare is so much. Yeah, it's not for the weak, but it's definitely fun and interesting. Any book recommendations for ANP? I actually have a list of all my book recommendations on my website, linked in my bio. If you just go under there and go under my recommendations, I have all my books that I've used. I actually had to update it with one more book. I kind of forgot to put it up there. But Grey's Anatomy, I think like McGraw-Hill's, Costanzo Physiology, some coloring books in there as well. But number 56, what bone protects the brain? What bone protects the brain? It's the answer choice C. It is the cranium. The cranium. So the cranium, which is part of the skull, encases and protects the brain. The sternum, that's going to protect your heart and your lungs. It's what so if you have your spine and then you have your ribs that come around, this is really weird. But some of them, the sternum is kind of in front here, like your breastbone. Your vertebrae, that protects your spinal cord, as we talked about back here, and the clavicle, that is going to connect your sternum to your shoulder, actually. By 57, where are red blood cells made? Where are red blood cells made? And I'm going to go back and answer any questions, and if I miss any questions, feel free to check out the orange button. Send me a question if I miss it or anything like that. I'm more than happy to answer. After every live stream, I go back and answer my DM. So it's definitely one of the best ways to reach me, and via my email, which is in my TikTok bio. Speaking of my TikTok bio, again, the replays of these are on YouTube. And then all my anatomy and physiology notes that I use to get an A are available there as well. Again, like these are my notes and stuff. So you can see them in my videos as well. But those were the notes I had. I got an A in the class, 100% on my final exam. I do tutoring as well, so reach out to me via the orange button if you need any help getting to anything. But again, everything's in my TikTok bio. But 57, where are red blood cells made? The answer is D. It is the red bone marrow. Red bone marrow. Red bone marrow and long and flat bones produce red blood cells via hematopoiesis. The liver produces red blood cells in the fetus, actually. So this is in the fetus. The spleen is going to break down old ones and recycle them, and the yellow bone marrow is going to store fat. Give me 1 second. Hi, thank you so much. It is or something. This is more for anatomy and physiology and the HESI and TEAS, but again, it's just a great review for MCAT, DAT, EMT, medical assistant, or even like medical student in pharmacology. Just good review, just overview and whatnot. But 58, what part of the nervous system controls voluntary movements? Good for medical assisting. Thank you. No problem. Thank you for being here as well. But again, my name is Ollie. If you're new here, welcome. I'll be showing my face at the end of the live so you can see me, but you can see it all over my profile as well. But I will be going live for anatomy and physiology every single day, and I do other topics as well that you guys request. But we'll be going live every day for anatomy and physiology, covering topics that you guys are struggling with. We're at 47,000 likes on the live, guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the participation as well. But if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here and you're back here before, a lot of you guys are repeats. Welcome back. I try to remember everybody that is pretty regular here as well. This is fun being here. No, it's fun having you here. I love doing these live streams. They're always so much fun. But 58, the answer is C. It is the somatic nervous system. So the word somatic is going to mean body. So your body moves. So when you move your body, that is going to be a voluntary movement. Autonomic is the involuntary. Parasympathetic, like we talked about, was our parachute, slowing down. Para means stop in Spanish. Parachute, slow down. Rest and digest. But the somatic and the autonomic, these are branches of the parasympathetic nervous system. And then the sympathetic is our fight and our flight. 59. What is the basic functional unit of a kidney? What is the basic functional unit of the kidney? What time am I going to be trying to be regular? Awesome, Kaylin. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love this. Oh, I love you being here. Yeah, Ari, what time am I going to be live? So tomorrow will be the same time again, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going live for at least 2 hours. The time for the rest of the week, I will release the schedule tomorrow night in terms of the time. It will be every day, though, for the next week. But I will post a video for that. And then also, like, my TikTok bio, kind of in the bottom part of the bio in the middle, it'll say, like, live event scheduled, and it'll say the time for that day. If it hasn't been started yet. But again, if you miss anything, it's on my YouTube as well. The 59, the answer is C. It is the nephron. So when we refer to the basic functional unit of any sort of organ, it is the smallest but the largest unit available to do a function. So the function of the kidneys are to filter blood and form urine. So this is the smallest but largest unit possible to do that. The glomerulus is a confused answer in a way, but this is going to filter blood, but it is not the entire process of forming urine. So that's why that's not an answer. Alveolus, again, is that's in their lungs. And then the loop of Henle is also part. It's a section of the nephron. We're going to move on to number 60. What cells line blood vessels? What cells line blood vessels? What cells line blood vessels? What do we think it is, guys? Another nephron question I messed up. No, it's okay. No, good. What do we think, guys? And let me just make sure. What notes app do I have? This is Good Notes. I use Good Notes. God bless you. No, God bless you. Thank you for being here, honestly. But the nephron does a lot. Awesome, guys. You guys are killing it. Killing it. The answer to number 60 is A. So what cells line blood vessels? That is squamous epithelium. The reason being, so think about, let's see, so when we talk about blood vessels, what are we trying to like kind of do in our blood vessels? Like what is occurring at them? That's really what I want to like point out for that one in terms of the tissue, because tissues, remember, structure equals function. So again, at blood vessels, we have gas exchange. So in our capillaries, so if you think of squamous, flat, when cells are flat, they allow for better diffusion. So it's ideal for diffusion. There's a special type of endothelium that lines, but the overall one is squamous epithelium. So think of if squamous is like kind of like I thought of it like squash, like you're like, I'm getting squashed. So it's like flattened, super thin, great for diffusion. Columnar epithelium, those are like taller, those are more so for the digestive system. Cuboidal is going to be like for glands. And then detransitional, that is like in the bladder. So it can stretch and recoil. But again, we want diffusion with this, and blood vessels function in the bladder, so it can stretch and recoil. But again, we want diffusion with this, and blood vessels function diffusion of nutrients and waste products. Squamous, great for diffusion. Fantastic. Does that make sense for everybody? Perfect. But number 61, what muscle type lines the digestive tract? Awesome. We just hit 50,000 likes on the live, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, I do have practice questions on there as well. I'll be posting this one later. It's not up yet, but I do have other practice tests available for you guys to download. But again, this one will be up shortly. If you want, hit the orange button. So about the endothelium. So endothelium is the simple squamous epithelium in the context of blood vessels. So the broad term would be squamous epithelium. The specific subtype is the endothelium. So yeah, you would be correct. Yes. So that is correct. Even though it's not saying endothelium directly. These are not the exact questions. That would be cheating. I do review questions. I want to review. I don't want to help you cheat and give you the answers. I want you to review and think and figure things out, and we can talk about like the thinking process through these questions. But 61, the answer is B. It is smooth. Smooth muscles line the organs like the intestines. The smooth muscle is what's going to allow for peristalsis. Skeletal, again, that's our muscles. Cardiac is found in our heart. Involuntary, blah. Number 62, which organelle is primarily responsible for producing cellular energy in the form of ATP? You have just a second to see here. What do you guys think? Thank you guys for all the follows. I really appreciate it. I love seeing the new people here. Welcome, welcome. My name is Ollie. I go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology if you're new here. And welcome back if you're not. New here. Thank you for being back again. I love seeing the repeat faces. I try to remember everybody that's regular here as well. But 62, the answer is C. It is the mitochondria. The mitochondria is the organelle that is responsible for producing energy in the cells in the form of ATP. People call the mitochondria the powerhouse of the cell. It's not just the powerhouse of the cell. It does a lot more. But it produces it through cellular respiration. You may go over this in biology and then also biochemistry. This isn't really mostly an anatomy thing, but you want to know that it does do that. Let's move on to number 63. What molecule carries oxygen in red blood cells? What molecule carries in red blood cells? But you can also reach out to me directly if you're confused on anything, or if you want to talk to me, or you have a question or anything like that, send me a message. When you talk about tutoring, I have anatomy and physiology notes that I can direct you to see which ones would be the best for you. I'm seeing a lot of C's. The answer is C. You guys are correct. The answer is hemoglobin. So hemoglobin carries oxygen in red blood cells. Fibrinogen is involved in blood clotting. Albumin, that's going to be for osmotic pressure. Myosin, that's a muscle contraction protein. Number 64. Which valve is located between the left atrium and ventricle? So left atrium and left ventricle. I don't actually need to rewrite ventricle. What do we think here? And I have a good mnemonic to remember that as well. Do I ever go DNA, RNA? Meiosis portion to it. But yeah, I do. I don't have any in there today, but I will be having those type of questions. I can put some in tomorrow. Send me whoever said that. If you put it in the so put that same thing like DNA, RNA, and meiosis portion. Put that in the orange button, and we'll get some stuff ready for that one. But what do we think 64 is? So the answer is D. It is the mitral valve. So the mitral valve is also known as the bicuspid valve. And the mnemonic, or I guess not really mnemonic, but phrase is when you go to the store and you try out clothes, you try before you buy, try something on before you buy something. Tricuspid valve is between the right atria and the right ventricle. Try before you buy. So that is between, so the bicuspid or the mitral is between the left atria and left ventricle. Tricuspid between right atria and right ventricle. That's a good way to remember it. 65. Which organ detoxifies harmful substances in the blood? Thank you guys for all the gifts. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all the likes on the live. We're up to 52,000 likes. That is insane, guys. Thank you guys so much. This is for the HESI and TEAS. This is also just good review for anatomy and physiology in general. It's helpful for the MCAT, the DAT, medical assistant, EMT, dental hygiene and whatnot, physical therapy, pharmacy, medical school, anything like that. Definitely trying to help you guys all remember and give a little review. This is mainly for the HESI and TEAS prep. But just great review for anybody that needs a refresher on anatomy and physiology. But we'll be going live every day. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. We're on number 65. The answer is C. It is liver. The liver is going to detoxify harmful substances in the blood. The kidney is going to filter waste, but chemically it does not detoxify blood. The spleen is going to recycle and break down old red blood cells, and the pancreas is for regulating blood sugar. So not detoxification, but blood sugar. All right, moving on to number 66 here now, everybody. Number 66, I'll leave this question here for a moment. 66, which part of the cell contains genetic material? And like I said, if you're new here, hello, hi. My name is Ollie. I go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I graduated in November, and I'll be going live every day. I've been tutoring AMP for about 5 years now. I love doing it. I love doing these live streams. They're so much fun. I always love to see you guys here. But definitely let me know. You can reach out to me if you're struggling with any material we've gone over via the orange button in the bottom left corner. I also post my notes for anatomy and physiology. They're available in my TikTok bio. And then I also have the replay of the live stream on YouTube. Again, so tomorrow it'll be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live tomorrow. And I'll release the schedule for the rest of the week tomorrow night as well. But which part of the cell contains genetic material? The answer is C. It is the nucleus. So the nucleus is going to house what we have our DNA, and this is also going to be responsible for gene expression. The cytoplasm is that like fluid in your cell, and ribosome is going to be for protein synthesis. Lysosome is going to digest waste. Number 67, which layer of the skin contains melanocytes? I'm also releasing a HESI and TEAS Anatomy and Physiology exam prep ebook. I'm giving out a $20 discount code that is only available if you message me the word ebook from that orange button. And then as soon as it gets released, I'll send you the discount code. As soon as it's released, you can use it. Even if you don't buy the book, you still have the coupon or whatever. Definitely reach out to me there if you have any anatomy and physiology questions. I do tutoring. I can direct you to my notes and YouTube. But 67, which layer of the skin contains melanocytes? Which layer of the skin contains melanocytes? The answer choice is A. It is the stratum basal layer. So melanocytes are what are going to produce our melanin, which is the skin pigment. It gives us our skin colors. The stratum corneum is for dead cells. The dermis is below the epidermis. It lacks melanocytes, and the hypodermis is the fat layer. A great way to remember the layers of the epidermis is let's get sun burned. The C is for the corneum. And again, this is superficial to deep. So this is the lowest, this is the uppermost, which is up here. This is your corneum. This is your lucidum, which is only present in its thicker skin. So like the palm of your hand is lucidum. This is granulosum, spinosum, and the basal layer. This is where the most mitotic activity occurs, where cell dividing occurs. And then as it goes up, the cells die, and by the time they're here, they're dead, and they're waterproof and keratinized, so you don't dissolve when you go out in the rain. Any questions on that, hit that orange button, let me know. But that's the way to remember the layers of the epidermis. 68, which ion is essential for muscle contraction? Which ion is essential for muscle contraction? Hopefully that was a good little study tip for you guys. I don't know if that helped anybody remember the layers, but let me know if that helped. Let me see some calcium. Perfect, everybody. The answer is C. It is calcium. What happens is calcium binds to troponin. That binds to tropomyosin. What tropomyosin does is it removes, troponin moves tropomyosin from actin so that myosin heads can bind and pull towards the M line or the center of the sarcomere. That is what contraction is. And that is why calcium is essential for it. Number 69. What type of feedback loop controls most hormones? This is referring to homeostasis. So you kind of gotta know what we can talk about feedback mechanisms. But what type of feedback loop controls most hormones? And we can go over those in just a moment. Yep, calcium is contained in sarcoplasmic reticulum. Calcium. So they're all important. Yes, but sodium and potassium are involved in the nerve signaling and the action potential, like depolarization and hyperpolarization, and chloride is in fluid balance. But the actual contraction is calcium. The action potential is by the rest of them. So some will say which ion is essential for muscle action potential, and that would be sodium in a sense, because that's what causes the depolarization. But they're all essential, but this is the most essential for contraction. That's essentially why. The answer to number 69, you guys are killing it. It is B. It is a negative feedback loop. A lot of people have a tough time remembering the differences of feedback loops, but the way to remember is negative. If you think about someone's negative, if you're in a good mood, they're trying to bring you down. So if you're in a good mood, the haters are going to bring you down. So negative is going to act in the opposite direction. If you have a positive friend, they are going to essentially, motivate you more. So it's going to act in the same direction. So a stimulus happens, and then we have a negative feedback loop that acts in the opposite direction, which is most of hormones. Positive feedback is going to act in the same direction. A great way to remember that one is oxytocin in terms of labor contractions. So when you're giving birth, you want to increase the number of labor contractions, and you do that by increasing the levels of oxytocin. All right. Number 70, what protein forms the structural framework of blood clots? What protein forms the structural framework of blood clots? It is tropomyosin that covers the binding site on actin. Troponin removes tropomyosin. Let me just make sure I don't have any questions. Perfect. What protein forms the structural framework of blood clots? Take a sip of my water real quick. My throat is a little dry. So the answer is fibrin. So fibrinogen is converted into fibrin, which becomes this mesh network that helps form the structural framework of a blood clot. Alrighty, perfect, everybody. Let's move on. Yeah, fibers is a net, yes. And it's insoluble, yes, it is insoluble. Yes, that is correct. Number 71, what structure connects muscles to bones? What structure connects muscles to bones? Fantastic. It is B. It is a tendon. It is a tendon. So ligaments connect bone to bone. Cartilage is going to cushion tissue. Fascia is going to surround muscles, so not connecting to bones. Let's move on to number 72. Which body cavity houses the lungs? Which body cavity houses the lungs? This one trips up a lot of people. Yeah, I know. A lot of people get mixed up on the tendon versus ligament, for sure. C. Perfect, guys. It's C. It's the thoracic. So it's going to be our lungs, our heart, and whatnot. Cranial is the brain. Abdominal, that's going to have like your stomach, your intestines, liver, and whatnot. Pelvic is going to contain your reproductive organs and your bladder. 72. The pancreas functions as what? What does the pancreas function as? A lot of people get this mixed up. But what does the pancreas function as? Is it exocrine or endocrine or both or a lymphatic organ? Fantastic, everybody. You guys, awesome. That's perfect. It is C. It is both an endocrine and an exocrine gland. The reason being, as an endocrine gland, it secretes insulin and glucagon to regulate blood glucose in the bloodstream. Insulin decreasing, glucagon increasing. And as an exocrine, it releases digestive enzymes to the digestive system. So that is why it is both an endocrine and an exocrine gland. Number 74, what structure increases surface area in the small intestine? I'll do some chemistry question reviews. Let me know. I love learning. Thank you for this. Awesome. Yes. Just learned this on New Hub. Awesome. In terms of like what kind of chemistry you want to see, let me pin this button here. So I'm going to pin this button. It's this like little orange button. Essentially what you can do if you have a certain question that you want to see in a live stream, you can hit that button, reach out to me, and like what you want to see, you can request a topic from there. That is the best way to reach me. Again, if you're just struggling with any topics in general, I have tutoring. I can maybe help you, direct you to certain tutoring. I have notes for anatomy and physiology. I can help you there as well. Again, I have an ebook for HESI and TEAS A&P coming out. If you send ebook in that button, that is the way to get my $20 coupon for that. But 74, the answer is C. villi. And if you are new here, my name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology. We're on number 74 now, if you're just joining us. We're concerned with what structure increases surface area in the small intestine. That is the villi. So villi, and then also the microvilli, they increase the surface area. And when you increase the surface area, you're going to increase the absorption of nutrients. So that's the function and purpose of those. 75. What phase of the menstrual cycle is marked by ovulation? That's our last question for anatomy and physiology. I have some bonus pharmacology practice questions here for you guys afterwards as well. We'll go through those very quickly if you're interested. Those are bonus for sticking around to the end of the live stream or the end of the anatomy and physiology portion. So I definitely thank you guys for that. And then I'll stick around at the end just to answer some quick questions. Number 75, what phase of the menstrual cycle is marked by ovulation? I haven't taken pharmacology, but I'll try. We'll go through the pharmacology really quickly and Stefan will explain. The answer is D, is the ovulatory phase. So our menstrual phase is the shedding of the uterine lining. The follicular phase is where the follicle develops. The luteal phase is after ovulation. This is where progesterone is really going to dominate. And the ovulatory phase, again, ovulation occurs during the ovulatory phase. This is around day 14, so about day 14. Alrighty, everybody? Perfect. Real quick, I'm going to, we'll recap on like kind of what we just did and talk real quick. And then we'll do some of the bonus pharmacology stuff. Let me flip my camera around here. Perfect. Hello, everybody that just joined. It's me. I'm Ollie. From Anatomy and Physiology. Thank you guys so much for being here for the Anatomy and Physiology portion. Hopefully my camera doesn't fall. But welcome in. Thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for being here. Hello. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live here on TikTok covering anatomy and physiology that you guys do request. I'll be posting every single day on TikTok as well. Hi, hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome. This is my face if you're new here. Not all heroes wear capes. I don't wear a cape. I have on a button down. So, where's the cat? They're in the other room. They're taking a nap. They're chilling. They're tired. They've been running around all day before the live stream. I played with them a bunch. They tired them out. You're awesome. No, you guys are awesome. Tomorrow at 3, yes, we'll be continuing with anatomy and physiology. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I'll just take some quick questions. Like I said, I have some bonus farm questions. We'll go through those really quick. How does molecular medicine look like? Molecular medicine is super fun. A lot of cancer research and whatnot. I did my research in biomarkers for urinary bladder cancer. And then I've done looking at the effects of like rapamycin on mTOR, the mechanistic target of rapamycin in non-small cell lung cancer. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the gifts. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. You said yes, I do tutor. I have a little orange button down. I think if I'm pointing in the right way on your guys' end, it's a little like arrow with a plus and like a thing. But definitely reach out to me if you're interested in tutoring. I do have limited spots, and let me, just reach out to me so we can talk. Thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate it. I also have a subscription as well if you want to be here as well. But thank you guys for being here. I love doing these live streams. Again, I do have some pharmacology questions for you guys as well. I see Brian. Yeah, thank you. I love smiling. Smiling is my favorite, I'm like Buddy the Elf out here. But I just have some quick pharmacology. We'll go through it real quick. Again, I just want to thank you guys again. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for following. I appreciate if you guys follow. Thanks for liking the live. I just see 60,000 likes on the live. That is insane. Thank you guys so much. I have a heart anatomy model actually coming in tonight. So we'll do some content on that. If you guys have any content like requests as well, live stream there. I have an ebook coming out on the HESI and TEAS anatomy and physiology portion. I am giving out a $20 coupon code as well. That is only available through the orange button down there as well. So we'll go ahead and get started here on the pharmacology. I was just turning around in case anyone's not sticking around for pharmacology. I just wanted to flip the camera around, introduce myself. I love saying hello. I love meeting new people, and I love teaching anatomy. I've been tutoring it for 5 years. So I love doing the live streams every day and whatnot. So we'll flip this around and we'll get started. I'm saying learning something new. Perfect. I was actually, in terms of my pharmacology, I took pharmacology in undergrad and graduate school. I was a pharmacy technician for 4.5 years. It put me through college. So that's what I used to pay my college. So I'm also a big fan of pharmacology as well. And like biomechanics, that was one of my favorite classes, pharmacology, physiology, and whatnot. But if you guys are staying, thank you. If you're leaving, I hope to see you tomorrow in our 3 p.m. anatomy and physiology live stream, or in another live stream in the future here. Do I do micro or stats? I do micro sometimes. I don't do stats. Mainly, just not something I've done on here lately. What tips do I have for nursing students that need to learn pharmacology? The biggest tip that I have for pharmacology and how I learned it was, honestly, flashcards and practice questions. Mainly flashcards. I don't have them with me. If I do, I actually have a video. It's from a while ago. I need to make a new one. But I had a stack of flashcards, and I went through them every day, every morning, every night, every day at 3 p.m. Not necessarily every day at 3 p.m., but tomorrow 3 p.m. I'll release the schedule tomorrow night for the times the rest of the week. But essentially I had how it worked with flashcards, and then we'll go into it. Flashcards, so I had my stack, and if I got it right the first time, I would put it in my right pile. And then if I kind of got it, but I kind of had to guess, I put it in like an intermediate pile, and if I got it wrong, I would put it in my wrong pile. And then I would go through all my cards, and then at the end, I would take the intermediate ones, and then the ones that I got wrong, and then I would stack them up, mix them again. I would move the right ones off to the side. I was done with those for the day if I got it right. Again, so it's like I'm getting everything right at least twice in a day. I have to get it right twice in a day. So that's how I studied that. So you get the cards of your intermediates that you kind of knew the answer to but weren't sure, and then you got your wrong ones, mix them up, go through them again. Same thing, if you got it right, you put it in the right. If you still are confused, you set it off to the intermediate, like I don't really know. then the wrong pile, and then I just take the intermediate pile and I go through the intermediate and see if I get it right again. Right, move down. Basically, I retire cards as well. Like if I get like so annoyed by answering a card, I'm just like done with it. So that's kind of when you know you don't need to learn a card anymore. But if there was one that I was getting wrong a lot, I hung it up on my wall. But let's get started with the pharmacology. Just have 15 quick questions here. A little end of the live stream bonus for you guys as well. Let me flip my camera around. We're all set now. All right, let's move on. Bonus pharmacology practice, everybody. Thank you guys so much. And again, if I missed your question, I was trying to answer questions as I saw them go through, but they fly through. Hit the orange button, send me a question. But number one, which of the following best describes status epilepticus? Which of the following? What answer choice? And if you don't know it, that's okay. Like I said, these are harder pharmacology questions. Basically, give your best guess as to what you think it might be. I go over one topic each day. And detail, yeah, so sometimes I do one topic each day in detail. I'm very new to chemistry in my A&P class. How do I know basic chemistry? So basic chemistry essentially covers, like, you just gotta know your bonding, your types of reactions, and your macromolecules. So that's really what matters, and like the atoms and ions and stuff. But number one, the answer is C. It is a continuous seizure activity without recovery between attacks. So status epilepticus, that's a neurological emergency where you have continuous seizures that last more than 5 minutes, or you have a repeated seizure without full recovery. Number two, what is the primary goal of an anti-epileptic drug? AED therapy. So AED therapy, what's the primary goal? I haven't learned this. That's okay. Take a guess. I don't understand. That's okay. No. Just take a guess. Number two. The answer is C. Yes, perfect. It's to control seizures while minimizing the toxicity. Again, the therapeutic goal of is seizure control with minimal side effects. AEDs they don't cure it. We're just trying to control it with minimizing our side effects. Number three. What electrolyte movements are altered by most AEDs to suppress nerve impulse transmission? What do we think that one is, guys? I'm seeing a lot of C's. You guys are correct. Yes, you guys are correct. It is C. It is sodium, potassium, and calcium. So most AEDs are going to alter sodium, potassium, and calcium. The activity, so the channel activity, basically it suppresses the neural excitability. So we are going to let me get my red pen on tonight, like Lana Del Rey gets her red dress on tonight. But so like I said, we suppress, so decrease neural excitability. How about number 4 now, guys? Which anti-epileptic drug is associated with gingival hyperplasia and must be given slowly via an IV in normal saline? What do we think that one is, guys? So a lot of D's. That's correct. It is D. That is because it's notorious for gingival hyperplasia. Should be only administered in like a normal saline when you have a slow IV push, and that is due to the risk of arrhythmias. Fantastic. This is pharmacology. We just finished up with TEAS stuff. Number 5, which of the following is a first-line drug for acute management of status epilepticus? What do we think it is? I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to answer. If you don't know, it's okay. Just take a guess. Seeing a lot of C's. The C's are correct. It's lorazepam. So lorazepam, it's a benzodiazepine. Those are the first line of treatment because it has a a rapid onset, and it's also just effective in it. Let's move on. To number 6, what causes the classic symptoms of Parkinson's disease? What do you guys think? Using C. I try to randomize it, but a lot of them end up being B or C. I apologize. Never did pharmacology, but I know this from working in a hospital pharmacy. Yeah, no, that'll definitely help you, yeah. Working in a pharmacy, you definitely get used to the terminology and stuff like that. But number 6 is B. So what causes the classic symptoms of Parkinson's disease? That is excessive acetylcholine activity and decreased dopamine. So Parkinson's, again, a deficiency in dopamine, and then it leads to relative excess of acetylcholine. Number 7, which of the following is a dopamine replacement drug that is used in Parkinson's disease? The fun names too in pharmacology as well. Fun names. So you want to seize? That is correct. Levodopa carbidopa, which is a fun thing to say. I remember the pharmacy. We were like, I don't remember how we even said it. It was like levodopa carbidopa or whatever. Some weird thing to say. But number 8, what is a major dietary restriction when taking levodopa? It's a major dietary restriction. But just to recap there, so levodopa is converted to dopamine in the brain, and carbidopa is going to prevent peripheral breakdown. But number 8, the answer is C. It's avoiding high-protein meals within 30 minutes of taking it. And that is because the amino acids compete with it for transport across the BBB, the blood-brain barrier. Basically, it's going to reduce the efficacy. So you want to avoid high-protein meals within the first 30 minutes, reducing the competition with amino acids for the efficacy. Number 9, which Parkinson's drug may cause urine discoloration, and it's used to reduce the wearing off phenomenon? Number 9. What do we think? If you don't know, just take a guess. We're just doing some farm today. Normally we do anatomy and physiology, but like I said, we do some other topics as well here and there and try to explain them and whatnot. 9 is B, anticomponent. So it's a COMT inhibitor. It extends levodopa's effects, and it could cause orange and brown urine. Levodopa, that's the core drug, so it's not specifically linked to discoloration. C, it's for dyskinesia and flu-like symptoms, and this one doesn't cause that effect. Number 10. What is the action of anticholinergic drugs in Parkinson's treatment? Anticholinergic? What do we think it is? What answer choice do we think it is? Perfect, it's C. It's going to block the effects of acetylcholine. I remember in Parkinson's we have excess acetylcholine. These are going to inhibit ACH. Well, the C is capitalized. ACH, helping to restore that balance of dopamine and acetylcholine. Let's move on to number 11. Which class of drugs is considered a first-line treatment for anxiety disorders? Which class of drugs is considered first-line treatment for anxiety disorders? Perfect, everybody. Congratulations. It is C. It is a benzodiazepine. So they are rapid acting and they are effective for acute anxiety. Although not typically used for long-term use, TCAs and MAOIs, they're a little older and not first line due to the fact that they do have a lot of side effects. And antipsychotics are not used for anxiety unless it's some sort of like psychosis. Number 12, what serious condition is associated with combining an SSRI and an MAOI? What serious condition there? What do we think it is? Even if just take a guess if you're not sure. We're at 68,000 likes on the live, guys. Thank you guys so much for smashing that button. It'd be crazy if we got to 70,000 today. That'd be crazy. SSRI, that is a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So basically they like treat depression, anxiety, and whatever. They increase the amount of serotonin in the brain. And then when you have an MAOI, those are monoamine oxidase inhibitors. They're an older class of antidepressants. But they increase the levels of like serotonin. But the answer is B, is serotonin syndrome. This is essentially where you see serotonin levels get so dangerously high, they can cause hyperthermia, like agitation, tremors. It can be really fatal. Number 13, which of the following is a side effect of TCAs? Oh my gosh, we just hit 70,000. You guys are crazy. Oh my gosh. You guys are insane. In a good way. Insane in a good way. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for the participation and for being here. I absolutely love doing these live streams. They are just so much fun. So I do appreciate it. You guys are incredible. The answer is D. It is all of the above. It's all of the above. So TCAs cause anticholinergic effects. So like sedation, tachycardia, hypotension. So yes, all of the above. So A through C are correct, but D is all of them. That's the most comprehensive answer. Number 14, what is a potential life-threatening interaction between an MAOI and a tyramine-rich foods? My last two questions here as well. What do we think it is? So it is B. It is a hypertensive crisis. So tyramine, this is going to cause... it's a catecholamine. Release. And MAOI is going to prevent its breakdown. This is going to lead to an insanely dangerous blood pressure spike. For answer choice A, severe hypotension. That is more typical of other drug overdoses. C, anaphylaxis, that's not, and then D is not typically related. Last question here, everybody. What is the therapeutic range for lithium used in bipolar disorder? What is the typical range? It is... Can we download the practice questions for live? You know what? Yeah, I'll start posting them before the lives as opposed to after. I normally do pharmacology on Fridays. I couldn't go live yesterday, so that's why I'm putting it at the end of this live stream. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Of course. The answer is B. It is 0.6 to 1.2. Oops. Again, so it has a very narrow therapeutic index. That was it. That was all the questions I had planned today. That was all that I had planned for my live stream today, guys. I really do appreciate... I'm a pharmacist. I appreciate you being a pharmacist. Then we can take notes. Perfect. Yeah. No, definitely. Let me see. I saw a question there. What is... Well, so hold on one second. Let me take a sip of water. I've been talking for a while. My throat is a little dry. So this stands for millimole per liter. Per liter. All right, so I am gonna, let me flip the camera around. Flip. Hello again, everybody. That was pretty much it for the live stream today. I'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. I will post a live schedule tomorrow night for the rest of the week. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Again, I'll be going live every day covering anatomy and physiology. We'll be doing other topics that you guys request. Again, if you were struggling with anything, reach out to me via that orange button, and we can talk a little more and try to figure out how to help you out. I do have notes for anatomy and physiology. They're available on my website. Link is in my bio on my profile. Same with the replay. You can go to my bio. Go to YouTube. If you have trouble finding those links, again, the orange button. I can send it to you there. Thank you guys all for participating, for being here. I love doing these. This was so much fun. You guys are saying thank you, but truly, thank you guys. You guys are the reason I'm able to do this. Thanks for the likes. We're up to like 76,000, which is insane, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the follows. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys' support and the subscriptions and the gifts and everything. You guys are incredible. Thank you guys so much. Again, we'll be doing daily anatomy practice and study tips and whatnot for all you guys. Thanks for all the follows. Thank you guys. This is me. Hello. I am Ollie. I'm the one. I'll be going live every day covering anatomy and physiology. Hope to see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or in a future live or anything like that. I'll also be posting. Ideally, I'd like to get out another TikTok video tonight, just answering some of the questions. So my YouTube is my name. It's Ollie Hertzig. It's linked in my TikTok bio as well for you to find. But if you're having trouble, again, I don't have my iPad screen up or anything like that right now. Oops, my phone went down. You saw my legs. So sorry about that. I needed to get this stable. Bumped into it. So sorry about that, guys. But again, my anatomy and physiology notes are available on my website for download. The link to that is in my bio. Oh, I moved my thing too. Oh my goodness. I guess it is definitely time to go. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Thanks for all the follows and likes. Bye, guys. Bye. Have a great rest of your night and weekend.